What's up everyone, I'm Patrick Shawn, and in this video I'm going to be working on custom spray cans. What that is where I take an empty can, spray paint a gradient on it, and then use a calligraphy pen to put my artwork on the can. I would like to do some with acrylics, but if I start running out of time, I'm not going to be able to. So let's see how much I can get done. Today's a cold rainy day, which isn't good for my spray paint. The humidity combined with the cold air is going to keep the paints from drying, so I'll need to let these dry inside. It's going to be tricky carrying freshly painted cans inside, so I'll use this tin lid to paint them on, and then I'll carry the cans with it. For the background on these cans, I'm going to do a two-tone gradient, and I'm going to use spray paint because I really like the dripping effect. All of these cans turn out great except for one. I'm not super happy with the yellow one, so I'm just going to put it to the side and I'll work on it some other time. I'm usually always drawing and sketching, that way I'll have a sketch or two squirreled away for rainy days like this one. So for this project, I'll use a few of those sketches, but I do want to draw something new for one of these cans. I don't usually show myself drawing because I don't have the prettiest technique for drawing on camera. I usually start sketching, then cut to the end, but I'm trying to get better at showing my entire process, which typically starts with a rough idea, really jagged lines, and lots of erasing. I want to do something simple for these cans, so in this drawing, I'm doing a character giving a peace sign. I've been trying to incorporate symbols in my artwork, so I'm also going to put a crown on her shirt. I'm not very good at freehand, and when I sketch stuff out, I do these jagged little motions that don't make clean lines. So for these spray cans, I'll be using transfer paper. Since I have a limited amount of time for this project, I want to work on these in phases. I did all the backgrounds at once, got all my sketches together at one time. Now I can transfer them one by one, then I'll finish them up by outlining them one after the other. The toughest part of working with these cans is that they keep moving. So I'm trying to keep them from rolling around, and since I'm using transfer paper, I'm also trying not to put too much pressure on them while drawing. Anywhere I put too much pressure, it's going to transfer graphite onto the can. For a really long time, I strictly painted on canvas, but that was because I had boxed myself in artistically. Then once I started following a bunch of other artists, I started seeing all of these amazing art pieces on all these different random objects. That opened my eyes to all sorts of new possibilities, and I quickly started thinking about what I could come up with to put on all sorts of different stuff. I started painting on anything I could get a hold of that people were getting rid of, things that I could find in thrift stores, and whenever I got an empty spray can. Eventually, I'd like to start doing murals, but I'm not sure what kind of murals I want to do, so I got a hold of some 7-foot signs that I'm going to use to practice with. And I'll most likely do a few videos with those in the near future. Now that the transfers are done, I can get started on the first can. But before I do that, I need to remove any excess graphite that I don't want on here. So what I'll do is use a regular old eraser to erase all these unwanted marks. I love sci-fi and nerdy stuff, so I really wanted to do an alien project for a long time. In this project, I wanted to do an alien wearing a jersey as a disguise. Then I thought it would be really funny to have a chicken staring at him as if his effortless disguise is failing miserably. Alright, I'm done drawing the first can, and I don't like it. I'm having an issue with the pen that I'm using. I think it's mixing with the graphite because it keeps acting like it's running out of ink. So it's kind of late, I'm going to go to bed, but first thing in the morning we're going to switch to acrylics and we'll get these cans looking awesome. Alright, day 2 of working on these spray cans. First thing I'm going to do is pick out my colors, then I'm going to get straight to work because I'm still on a little bit of a time crunch. I was already short on time before switching from my pen to paints, so now I know I won't be able to finish all of these cans. At this point, I'm trying to see how much I can get done in one day. The struggle of working on cans is magnified now that I'm working with paint, because the paint dries a lot slower than the pen would. So I'm doing my best to keep this can from rolling around while blocking out these colors. Even though I'm short on time, I can't just sit in silence while painting because it would drive me crazy. So while I'm working on this, I'm watching an insanely funny show called Black Books. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. It's a brilliant British comedy about a bookshop owner played by Dylan Moran, and it is hilarious. The reason I'm short on time for this project is because my schedule is suddenly packed. I have a lot of back-to-back art shows, events, and Comic-Cons to go to now that restrictions are being lifted. So I'll be traveling pretty much every weekend until the end of the year to set up and sell my artwork. While working on this painting, I'm starting to realize that time's running out, and this is the only can I'll be able to finish before going out of town, which is terrible, but there isn't much I can do about it. So in my next video, I'll make up for it by painting some more of these spray cans. Now that this painting's wrapped up, let's take another look at it. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Unfortunately, I was only able to finish one of these cans before running out of time, so in the next video, I'm going to tackle the other 4 cans. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons. You guys are incredible. Make sure you go to patreon.com/pdshawn where you can get behind the scenes, tutorials, and merchandise only available to patrons. Also, check out my website pdshawn.com where you can find paintings, prints, merchandise, or commission your very own piece of art. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave a comment below, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do that now, and I will see you guys next time.